Okay, we got infinite time again on my phone. Interesting. So, lately I've been noticing something that maybe people just are just like, even like beyond what I assumed stupid because I would assume that when you find something that you tell, okay, this mind is pushing the generation and collective human consciousness 100 to 200 years further, you would do everything to actually give them enough resources to just do that. And it just baffles me that, yeah, I have like so many people who literally write everything about me and praise me to oblivion and back, put their name on it, push it, and introduce me to other people saying, okay, this combination of mind or cognitive architecture I haven't seen even in the history and even in the books that I've been reading. And every single one of them pass it together and say, hey, this, this is it. This is what humanity is not gonna have in 100 or 200 years. It's gonna take time to make something like this in history, and they all agree. And I would assume that when you say, okay, this mind sees patterns and sees things over and over repeatedly that other people don't think, is just you would preserve this, and they could have a professional identity tied to preservation of this. But it's just like so surprising to me that that's actually not the case, because I'm just so baffled that all of these people with resources say to each other, not even me, because to me would be just performance and not political capital or social capital, but they're literally introducing me to themselves, to other people like themselves, great lawyer, great philosopher, great writer, and all of that. And they're saying, "Oh, watch out! This one needs to have a placement. This one needs to have resources. This one needs to be something that I've never seen before. This one needs to survive. This one needs to be positioned properly." And the funny thing is that, at least this is another kind of thing, that most of the things that I assume are obvious, to my surprise, are like discoveries. A couple of frameworks that I built are now the cornerstones of people and their whole identity and career around what I assumed is obvious. And it's just kind of a shock to me that when you have that, I think this would be obvious to me as well, that you would preserve this, because if I was a TikTok scroller and I wouldn't contribute anything to anything, there's another me, and there would be another me tomorrow, the next hour. But there isn't. Everything I've produced, everything I've given to the world at this very early age, that I haven't even had the resources to actually go fully in. This is literally me at 1%, that people are praising and gushing over my mind, and everyone is captivated in my presence after 50 uh, words that I utter. It just, And still, no one seems to actually want to spend anything, because it's just like so fascinating to me that these people who are constantly comparing me to people that I don't even know, like someone said Grotius, someone said Foucault, someone said Wittgenstein, someone, and all of these people have this consensus of this 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 person. When I talk to this person for 10 minutes, I haven't seen something like this even barely written in history about great people. And I'm starting to think, I'm literally stuttering here, but I'm starting to think that these people would actually, knowing who Nietzsche is, funny enough, one of them is obsessed with Nietzsche and compares me to him, and he's not a nobody. The guy translated Nietzsche to 30 languages for 30 years. And I really believe these people, knowing who Nietzsche is, knowing who all of these people they worship are, even Nietzsche literally got resurrected today with the same mustache, the same everything. Nietzsche literally got resurrected today. They would literally do the same thing. Ignore the whole thing and say, "Hey, go go find your own path, find your own money and stuff like that." And this is very baffling to me because everyone these people are talking about, Van Gogh, his brother Theo, literally gave him money for 30 years to, would be like 2,000 francs. But by the measurement would be everything and on top of the kitchen sink. And Marx was the same. Like there was a Patreon that paid him to think. And the funny thing is that I just don't understand, like, what do people actually think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just produce excellence, die, and after that they're gonna feel safe to associate their names with my corpse and use all of my frameworks and do a Tesla on me? It's like, this is the part that I don't understand. Like, who would lose more? If I die, I already have something to my name that's gonna literally find its place and time in 50, 100 years, and countless things that I literally myself thought as obvious and apparently are not to other people. It just, that's the part that I don't understand, that how lonely a world can be for someone like me in 100 years, 200, 300, because there's gonna be another me in 100, 200, or 500 years, if there is even existence as we're speaking. But it's just a shock to me that all of these people, powerful people with resources, with everything, they just look at me and say, "Wow, I have never seen anything like this." Literally, last week I went to this privacy lawyer in Amsterdam, and she is literally the best privacy lawyer in the Netherlands, and she was introed. She was literally bullied to have me in the meeting by another great privacy lawyer in the world who clearly sees my mind and wants to place it properly, but is still not pushing enough. Sure, she was bullied for 2 times to have the meeting, but as soon as the meeting started, something very strange happened. That she started saying, "Okay, you're just basically thinking you're just a smart kid and you have good connections." Who my colleague, my superior, bullied into this meeting, and she was literally about to leave leave the meeting after 5 minutes before it even started. She got the coffee for the 5 minutes. It was literally half full glass. Her knees and her kneecaps were tilted towards the exit, so literally even sitting at the table was she was positioning herself to actually leave the meeting and conversation. Everything was screaming about like, okay, this is urgent. We literally had a breach today. $1 billion or euros are on the table, and our whole fucking firm is on fire, and I have to deal with this. And literally, the moment I opened my mouth, her body language shifted drastically. She literally cupped both of her kneecaps together, and the both kneecaps were facing me, fully engaged in a conversation. She literally turned her phone upside down, the screen facing the table, and she got like 2 or 3 calls. Then after that, she literally just let it sit in silent mode, and her eyes were quite interesting as well. That a 60 years old kind of a professional in privacy space, she has seen every brilliant person in the world, I assume, and she has been in rooms that she wouldn't be surprised of anything, even if 1 million. She was so casual about 1 billion on the table, burning in breaches and whatever, and she was saying, "Yeah, it's just Tuesday." But the surprise I felt in her face and body language and basically her whole way of treating the conversation was like, she literally uttered it herself as well, that I'm trying to mentally model you. She was scrapping to find placement of think tank, privacy, policy, anything that positions this mind in the positions of power that she thought she would have understood where to position as. And it was very fascinating to me that at least if I'm not being over dramatic or grandiose thinking, she was literally looking at me as if I shouldn't have existed. That this person, with this combination of mind and the way he thinks, the way he reflects his thoughts and articulates his opinions, as well as how closely I was watching her every single movement. I was matching her tonality of voice, even the depth of gaze, even everything, and it was just so automatic. I'm fully aware of that I was doing it, but it was just so fully automatic because I was seeing who she was underneath all of the status and all of the fancy words, and she felt seen in a way that um it was very strange to her, and that happens so many times to me, that and I'm quite surprised about this, that how can you see this and say this is very kind of strange, and you're scrambling to find a placement for it, and this is literally 5 or 10 of them already in the past, like maybe 1 year, even less than 1 year, and you still are fine if this mind is wasted in a normal job or in any kind of position that is literally wasting the potential of what could be produced. And on top of that, he is already producing something you have never seen. And it's like, I don't know, like I'm not making this video to make anyone love me or go viral, because the whole thing about this video is not gonna go viral, not even five views at best. But the whole conversation is that I want to have recorded this video for someone maybe in 100, 200, 500 years, whatever, that is gonna be another me. Hopefully this video finds them. I know it's not gonna be 5 people, it's not gonna be 10 people, it's just gonna be one person. It's just gonna be one person, and they're gonna have the same question that I'm having now, that why this efficiency of resources is such a low priority for people. Because if I had contact with such a mind like mine, and I evaluated it like even 50% correctly, I would burn my skin to prepare that mind and preserve that mind by doing everything, because this is a very majestic kind of feeling to have, that you're witnessing something that is not gonna be replicable in 500 years, in 100 years. And you yourselves tell that, you yourselves say that, and you take every second of this contact for granted. It's the same thing, like so many people have compared me to Dostoevsky, Nietzsche, and all of that, and still they're just so casually comparing me to these people, and they're just so casually, without any friction of thought from their point of view. It's just obvious, as if like my name was Fred and my family name was Nietzsche and I was born in. It's literally as if I'm him, as if I'm the other people they compare me to. And still, there is this ease at just watching. Because if Nietzsche was born today, and I would have the conversation with him, the first thing I would do is that I would literally mentally map his next 50 years, because he died at 40 or something. The guy literally went crazy. So I would literally map out the full day by day, second by second use of his time, and say, hey, what are you gonna do with it? And I would take it to the calculator, AI, whatever, and say, hey, how much can I get out of Nietzsche before he's dead? Because I need to understand his mind. I need to understand what this guy has had inside his skull. And the funny thing is that I'm not getting any of this urgency from people who have studied these kind of people for 30, 40 years, and are comparing me to that person, to these people, as if it's just obvious. And I don't understand how can you accept one side of thing and not follow through on the actual the conclusion of it. And the only kind of framework that I can actually think of is that you just don't care. You just don't care about the efficiency, because it's just like I cannot imagine myself talking to Dostoevsky and having the resources, although it's gonna be uncomfortable for me and have some discomfort for me financially or social credit wise or whatever, and believe myself that, oh, I'm supporting Dostoevsky for the rest of his life to just write. It just, I cannot like say this in any kind of shape or form that I can actually understand this, because it's just very bizarre to me that You can have people in their 40s, 50s, 60s at the pinnacle of their professional kind of persona and positioning, casually comparing a 26 years old to a fully matured philosophical frameworks of likes of mature, like 60 years old Dostoevsky, peak Nietzsche, Foucault, Wittgenstein, Sartre, whoever the fuck. It's just like, how can you disassociate yourself like that? It's just like, I wish I in my trajectory I have that position myself, and I come across, although statistically unlikely, I come across another lesser version of what I am. Not because my ego, because not everyone is gonna be greater than me, because there's a specific sets of circumstances that produces something like me and my mind. And this sets of circumstances are historically, even if I can talk, kind of anomalous, because the thing that happened with Nietzsche was the death of God, because the guy couldn't fuck a pussy and he fucked God, I guess. And the transitioning from the individualized kind of fellowmanship of others, the start of the solution of individualism, that Nietzsche literally killed God to bring back individualism in the Ubermensch, Superman, whatever. And the same thing that's happening with me is the friction between the digital age, geopolitical tension, that I need to be Iranian, I need to be in Europe, I need to be in the intersection of AI as someone who studied law and, funny enough, studied cyber sovereignty and has been writing since he was 8 years old, and have been connected to people by chance and luckily and coincidentally, specifically targeting every aspect of this kind of transition to the next post AI phase of identity. And all of that is not going to happen next 20 years, next 50 years. There's needs to be at least the AI settlements, the post AI settlements is going to be at least 10 to 20 years. And in the 10 to 20 years, because that's the generational memory, that's the one memory of a generation that is slowly easing to that post AI era. Then we have what I call primordial regression. That's what it means to be human is gonna be under attack. So geopolitically, people are gonna individually and socially and collectively are gonna be more prone to violence and authenticity. Even these days, these kind of videos that I started making a year ago or 2 or 3 years ago are popping up because people are fed up by the performance of perfection. They want authenticity and the humanness of it. And there's a reason behind it, because the automated identity that is literally flooding the market is exactly what AI does. So you need a distinguish factor of what I call identity crisis, a identity crisis, that in order to actually distinguish yourself from the othered identity, which is AI, you need to be more violent, you need to be more authentic, you need to be more messy and more human. And what's happening is that this is gonna take a toll on humanity and the geopolitics of the world and every aspect of it in the next 10 to 20 years. After the next 10 to 20 years is gonna be a transitioning phase of 30 years towards the next generation of what it comes after the normalization of post-AI era. And then the conceived and the conception of a seed that's gonna be my peer, my historical peer in the next 50 years is gonna even start. And even it's gonna take that motherfucker 20, 30, 40 years of cultivating all of the consciousness cultivation from a very early age. So in his 20s or 30s, he's gonna or she is gonna have my mind. So is the earliest is gonna be in the next 80 years. I'm not gonna be alive in 80 years to mentor that motherfucker. So I'm recording these kind of videos for that motherfucker in the earliest even to have this question hopefully answered for him or her, that why this is very odd to me that I'm gonna be fine because at the very least I just write and I use my frameworks and I use these videos as vindication for when my frameworks and all of the predictions become true, and I show the world retrospectively how stupid and how dumb they were to see and not act, because I've documented everything and I keep documenting everything because I wanna have my revenge as a sense of in the worst case scenario, if I don't make it in my lifetime to the platforms and the power places that I literally am positioned historically to occupy, uh, other than these retards who are doing nothing with their positions of power. But the worst case scenario is gonna be that I'm documenting everything. So historically, I'm gonna have a lot of names to make, to embarrass, because they saw that, and that's the problem, because 90% of people don't actually fucking see what I actually see, and the other 10% see what I am capable of seeing after I have already seen it. So it's basically the analogy is that I'm looking at the wall and I'm seeing fascinating patterns on the wall. 90% of people think I'm just staring at the blank wall. And there are 10% of people who are literally staring for 10 minutes to, I wish that it was 10 minutes, for 30 years at the same wall that I'm staring at. AI, fucking sovereignty, fucking geopolitics, everything. And after 30 years, they follow my eyes and they see, okay, where I'm looking at, the pattern of my eyes moving on the wall, and they're seeing through me. Oh, after 30, 40 years, oh, that's what says on the wall. And then they praise me for seeing something in 10 minutes that they couldn't see for 30, 40 years. And then they say, wow, keep seeing this. I'm just going to look at you looking at the wall and just understanding what you are seeing. And what happens is that they're seeing what I'm seeing that they couldn't see for 30, 40 years. And what's happening is that they just keep watching me instead of giving me a fucking paint or something to actually make it more visible to other 90 fucking percent of people, which is the institutional positioning, the power, the influence, the platform, the financial positioning, the everything, the resources, all of that. But they're just so fucking stupid that they see the wall and see nothing, and they literally follow my eyes and the way I'm looking at the wall, and the way I'm seeing it, and literally even this analogy that encapsulates everything I'm saying, I just came up with it like on the spot, and this is fascinating to me because this fits the whole analogy and strengthens the whole argument itself. And these people, instead of giving me a paint or something to make it visible to other people in a proper positioning, they're just staring at me, so I find the paint myself, go paint it myself, and say, voila, 90% of other people now see it. And then they're gonna nod and say, yes, yes, this is what we were seeing all along. And I just don't understand, like, if it is me, if the first second I see something in the eye movement of someone staring at an empty wall that I've stared at for fucking 30 years, 20 years, 40 years of my professional identity defining career, and I haven't seen it, I can literally open my vein and pour it on the wall, so this motherfucker has a paint to show to other people. I would literally kill myself to make the person who sees something that I haven't seen for 30 or 40 fucking years and make it visible to the other people, because this is supposed to fucking happen, because this is gonna take 100, 200 years to actually even be possible for someone else to see something on the wall that other people cannot see. And these people, I'm not asking for their fucking blood paint. I'm asking about, hey, maybe give me $10 and some. This is an analogy, not fucking $10. But in an analogy, give me $10 so I go and fucking buy the paint myself. So I brush it myself and I show it to all of you motherfuckers who never had the eyes to see this. And I just don't understand, like, how can you be this stupid to not do that? Because it's just like beyond me. I just don't fucking understand this, because some of these motherfuckers, literally word by word, I have these motherfuckers' emails. I gotta get you discovered. What does getting discovered mean? If not handing me the fucking platform, handing me the fucking financial resources, the power, the influence, every fucking bullshit that comes with actually making you be discovered, getting you discovered. This is the part that I don't fucking understand. How can you casually compare someone? I'm not even at my peak maturity of thinking, writing, any of that. With the least amount of resources, I'm producing things that these people are in awe. And it's just so fascinating to me that these motherfuckers risk nothing, because the only conclusion that I have, these motherfuckers are either jealous of staring at the wall for 30 years and not seeing anything. So I'm literally an existential threat, an existential kind of embarrassment to them, because their whole existence and their whole professional career is questioned because I saw something in 30 seconds by nature of who the fuck I am, and these people couldn't see it for 30 years. So the best thing they can do to actually damage control their ego is to praise me for seeing it. But it's gonna diminish their actual legitimacy in the profession if they say, hey, this guy saw it, I didn't, for 30 years. Please give him something to paint it on the wall so other people can see it as well. That's it. And I still don't understand. And I just don't know, like, how many days, how many years, how many fucking, how much time how many times I'm gonna be faced with a new person who I saw something new on the wall in their profession, and they just say, wow, that's awesome. That's what Nietzsche did. That's what this guy did. That's what this guy did. Some of these motherfuckers tell me, reread this book from Nietzsche, this book from Foucault. This, I say, I don't even know who the fuck these people are, because I have my own structure of thought. I don't need to read someone else's to learn how to see the world. I'm fully satisfied with my own fucking eyes. I read people out of curiosity, not out of curation of my own fucking cognition, because I don't read to learn. I read to discover their point of view and be fascinated by how they saw the world. I don't read to see and force myself to see from their fucking side, their eyes and their perspective, because that's not reading, that's literally copying. That's why all of these people don't see shit, because they have learned to see for 30 years from the first perspective they felt comfortable in.